Hey there, let's get straight to the point. So, this is a step by step process that we use at my agency, Sibo Consulting, to find viral creative angles that scale to 30K a day plus in ad spend for our clients. Okay. So, if you don't know who we are, I run Sibo Consulting, a creative agency that works with 8 to 9 figure D2C e commerce brands. And we essentially make creatives end to end for our clients and we help them scale ad spend aggressively on Meta. Okay. So, to show you some proofs, as I said, our clients spend millions on our video ads. Here's how we find viral angles that perform for months. Few do this, but it works. I'm going to show you the process, in a second. Is pretty short. I'm not going to keep this video long. I want to get straight to the point and give you the strategies so you can follow this step by step. You can share this with your team. But before, let me show you some proof. Okay, so this concept that we made recently, like a few weeks ago, spent $262,000 in a week. Okay, so from December 22nd to December 29th, our ad that the ad that we made spent 250K, so $250,000, 2.4 in platform ROAS, driven over $600,000 in sales. And as you can see, this is proof, right? Ad name contains SEBA, so every time a client launches an ad that is made by us, they track it always with SEBA in the naming convention, right? So December 2025, SEBA. Okay, so did we do this? So make sure that you take this and you actually implement it because this is sauce. Like nobody's sharing with you this. Okay. So let's dive right into it. So the goal with Meta Creatives isn't just to make ads that are profitable for 2 to 3 weeks. You want to create ads that go viral. So this should be the goal, right? Because as you know, Meta pushes virality. So if your ad garners a lot of social proof, Meta gives you pushes it out to more people, right? And it also helps with converting people because let's say that you get an ad that gets a lot of comments, a lot of positive comments from even existing customers that see your viral ads saying actually this product works. I used it for a few weeks and I see the results. That just motivates the next potential buyers to purchase from you, right? So you don't want to just make ads that are profitable, but you want to make ads that go viral and get a lot of engagement, a lot of shares, like a lot of likes, a lot of comments, okay? And stuff that goes viral has to fit into the. And how do you do this? The stuff that goes viral has to fit into the content consumption habits of your audience. The first thing people do when they have a problem is a TikTok, YouTube search. So that's where you want to start, right? So in order to make an ad go viral, into the the organic content that your audience consumes, right? So that they can see this and they can share with their friend, right? Let's say you use the Instagram and you see something that is relevant to you, like a reel, you share with your friend, right? Say you want to use the same principle with your ads. You want to make ads that are shareable and make the people that see the ads want to send it over to their friends, to their family, so that everybody can see it and the engagement just becomes larger and larger, and then and everything just helps improve the performance of the ad. Okay, so where do you start? Right, TikTok and YouTube search. So this is where we look for viral angles. Step one, do a YouTube research. So do this step by step. I'm gonna just read what I basically written down here. Doesn't get more clear than this. First of all, if you're not in the US, we sell primarily in the US for our clients. So you want to get a VPN. So use Proton VPN is a pretty good VPN. So first of all, install a solid VPN. Turn on the VPN for the market you're selling to, for example, US, or if you're, US brands want to sell in Europe, get a VPN for Europe. I don't know, whatever, Germany, whatever wherever you're selling. Okay, connect it, and then you want to open YouTube in a new incognito window, right? Which is basically a clean slate, and then start searching for the topic that you were interested in. For example, you want you're selling red light therapy brands in the past, and yeah, you just want to search for the specific key in the search bar that you are interested in. Okay, let me make this smaller. Okay, relay therapy, and make sure it's better to do this process on mobile just because it's just better. So yeah, do this on mobile. I recommend you can also do it on desktop, but mobile is better. And you essentially just want to start searching for that keyword with the VPN and a new incognito window. Step three, you want to start adding some filters, right? So you can really narrow down the type of content that you're gonna get and you're gonna see. So filtered videos by view count, so not relevance. Make sure that it's view count. Okay, so you can also put there's going to be there are filters. I recommend to go either this month or this year. So right, don't go too narrow, especially because if you're searching for something a bit too niche, you're not going to get a lot of results. So put this month and this year. Type of video, duration. You can also select this, but it doesn't really matter. But most importantly, make sure that you put view count, which will show you the videos with the most views, right? And after that, you just want to start scrolling through the reels and the videos that you get. So step four, find viral content that you can take inspiration from. So easily, oh my God. So first of all, reels will give you a great idea of what scroll stoppers you want to use to hit the audience, right? So YouTube in views within a specific niche, specific keyword, that hook was strong, right? So you can leverage that again, to run on paid. So Reels give you an idea of the scroll stoppers and the hooks. For example, doing some quick research about rel therapy, I saw these videos come up and again and again. So, for example, I did this research and I saw this coming up again and again, where basically there's like women shopping, and for this specific product, which is like a red light therapy device that helps with under eye bags, there's like one person in POV going and just putting this on these women that are just like randomly shopping in POV, and then they give the reaction after like a few minutes. They take it off and like, hey, wow, man, under our bags are gone, right? So this is like super strong hook that I'm sure a lot of brands have ran. Skin Essence, I'm sure that they ran this on paid, but obviously it needs to fit also the product you're selling. If you're selling a red light therapy mask, that's a bit more difficult, right? So you want to try to find a way to bridge, take these learnings and use them for your products. So for example, as I was explaining this example, moms and daughters outside shopping, someone puts a red light under eye product on their daughter's face and the mom gets angry, right? So actually that's not even the hook. I just remember what it is basically they're shopping, and then there's like a stranger in POV, right? Imagine you're like somebody with the product in POV recording, and then randomly they put the product on the daughter's face, and the mother, which gets super defensive, is like, what the fuck damn, I hope they don't I can curse on YouTube, whatever. Um, and the mother is basically saying, "What are you doing to my daughter?" Right? But then after 5 minutes, product, this is a product that works, right? So that just creates curiosity because it's kind of controversy. You see these like things on social media where yeah, like people get angry or there's like drama and people love that. So that's a strong hook. And this video's got millions of views, so you know that this concept that actually hits, right? This, at least the hook hits, right? So again, you want to do this not only for reels but also for videos, right? Yeah. Next step is figuring out how to leverage the viral angle to sell your product. Maybe you can recreate it and use it as a hook or even as an entire concept. You can test it out and go from there. The point is that it worked. It's already proven to get clicks and drive engagement, right? So obviously, one thing is driving clicks, engagement, and another thing is to drive sales, right? But you want to combine the both, especially at the start of your video. You want to make sure that it gets engagement, and then your video becomes almost like a funnel where you put things in place. You have a structure in place to turn that attention, that engagement into actual buying intent. And then when people get to the end, once you introduce the product, you can actually convince them to click and buy the product, right? So that's a whole nother video that I can make about this. So as I said, reels are very good for hooks. Regular YouTube videos for thumbnails, headlines, and analyzing comments. That's very, very crucial. So for example, YouTube videos are great for thumbnails. So you can look at thumbnails of videos. You can look at headline titles. That could be like an angle. Maybe you see like a headline, like a title that comes up and again in the video, right? For example, here is micro needling worth the hype, right? The 10 best and worst red light skincare devices, right? So you know that people love comparisons of different devices, right? So a creative angle could be, if you're selling a device, could literally be, let's rank, Derm ranks the top 5 best red light therapy masks in the market. And then you literally have a Derm that ranks all the, basically talks crap about your competitors. And then as last says, and this is the best option because it contains this and these mechanisms, which the other masks lack, which is why the other products don't work and this product works, right? So that's something I just came up with, right? The incredible impact of red light therapy, Scam Miracle, the science behind, and also Scam Miracle, and a lot of people are skeptical about red light therapy. So that could be another concept, right? Objection handling. Starting a video with, about this product and it was a scam, but then you actually reveal, okay, maybe let's say you start use like a UGC video where the creator says, I bought this product and I thought it was a scam, but this is what happened after 30 days. Okay. So all these things that you can kind of take. And as I said, reels are great for hooks, ideas, and thumbnails. YouTube videos are great for, hook ideas and thumb stoppers, scroll stoppers. And then YouTube videos are great for thumbnails, headlines, and also analyzing the comments. So you can look in the comments and see what people talks about, put everything down in a document, analyze the comments. If there are topics that come up and again, objections, questions that people have, you can leverage that and feed it into your data and your research process. So super simple process. As I said, it's nothing complicated, but sometimes the easiest, the most easier things are the ones that actually work. If you haven't found value in it, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I mean, I'm just making these videos because this is what we do. If you watched till the end, hope it was valuable. I didn't have to make this video. Honestly, I didn't want to make the video, but I have to be consistent posting on YouTube. And yeah, super simple process, but much better than blindly slapping stuff from Foreplay and Atria. I mean, those tools are great, and we also use them at our agency. But again, the goal is to make ads that go viral, right? Not only on YouTube, we can also do this process on TikTok, right? That's why a lot of brands run TikTok organic content. Let's say they do TikTok shop. They take those raw organic videos and run them on Meta, and they crush. That's why, like, that's another pattern that has more raw organic type creatives without a lot of selling, without minimal editing, minimal like structures, also tend to work really well. I think just because people connect so much with like the human and authentic side of things, where it's like a person that literally says, "Hey, I had this problem, this worked," and just yaps, right? It works really well. But on the flip side, you also have other clients that are scaling hard with like long form, dark responsive yourselves with AI avatars, where there's like a whole structure, a whole mechanism, there's like a whole storytelling. So both things work. You just need to test it out. Maybe I might make a video about that later on. But this that I just showed you is a key part of our process when we start on a new brand, and it always pays dividends. So it's actually one part of the process. So we have different ways with the research. But if we are working with a niche that has a lot of organic content that performs well on paid, that's definitely something that we can also look. Or maybe just the nature of the product is something that can be sold and goes really well organically. That's absolutely a part of the process that we do. So hope this was valuable. If it wasn't, as I said, I don't care. If you want to follow me, feel free to follow me. I'm gonna drop more videos like this. If you don't want to follow me, I don't care. And if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, I care about that. So subscribe to my newsletter because that's where I share the most value. YouTube is purely just to get eyeballs, and then driving traffic to my newsletter, which is where I'm more personal. I actually share actionable stuff. I have people that have been subscribed to my list for like 5 years, and I have 9-figure CEOs, the True Classic CEO will subscribe to my newsletter. Lux CEO will subscribe to my newsletter. Yeah, so if you want to get in there, make sure to do it. I'll drop a link in the comment section, and drop a like, drop some comments if you want, subscribe to my channel. Yeah, hope it was valuable. And if you have any question, drop it in the comments.